There she flies. It's very hard to get a picture of this when you've got to have one hand doing the ball down at the bottom and the other hand doing the owl. Oh! There we go. It's flying! Evie likes it. It's scary. Brr. Today it was mowing the lawn in the easement. This is the little circle out front. I've got to get to weed that next. It's not too terribly bad. It's got a lot of bark in there, so weeds come out very easily. But I weeded the back patio yesterday, which was an ordeal. And there's my, crocusimas? They're an El Diablo or Lucifer crocus. And I've got my beautiful hosta that the weeds deterred the deer. Somebody needs his car fixed. Anyway, I mowed the lawn in here. I have yet to weed by the fence line here. I got a lot of dandelions and grass in there. But today it is, it's just barely over 50, and with the wind chill factor, I'm guessing it's not even 50. So it is not very pleasant today. So I did manage to get the lawn mowed. Took me 2 lawnmowers and a weed whacker to do it though. My new lawnmower has 2 batteries, and apparently they don't start charging. You have to put the batteries in the charger first and then plug it in order to initiate the charging cycle. Well, I didn't do that. So I didn't have good batteries. So I used my old lawnmower, which is like chug chug, cough cough, and got it about 3/4 of the way done. I had one little patch to do, and it quit on me. So I had to take the weed whacker and do that little patch. So 3 machines to get just that little easement done. So I got tired out going back and forth to my shed. And it's way too cold to be out here. Cold and windy. But I have my beautiful red rhodie that's blooming back there. I'll zoom in on it a little bit here. And it changes color, oddly enough. I've got a really, really hot pink or red one here in the front. And that one in the back is really strange, depending upon what kind of mineral salts it gets out of the rains. It's everything from a light pink to a deep pink. So this year it's a deep pink. I did put a fertilizer stick in though this year, so that could be helping it along a little. And then we've got all these beautiful bugleweed. They call them a weed, but I think they're very pretty. They sell them as a flower. And I've got my iris back there, and I've got some columbine interspersed in there, and that's starting to bloom. And I don't know if you can see the lilacs up there, but there are lilacs lilacs blooming up there. Brrr. But I figure I better do a YouTube video, because I haven't done a YouTube video in a long time, and I've got some people that follow me on YouTube and not on Facebook. So, need to do that. And let's walk down here for a minute. Then I'm gonna turn on the heat when I go inside. And I don't know what the trash men are picking up. I don't know. I think the trash men may have missed us. They came down our side, and it looked like they were supposed to be stopping. But then they went down the other side, which is usually the second side they do. So I got no clue. Might have to complain to the county. Anyway, we have a bunch of miscellaneous things in here that are blooming. And that patch of bushes right there was all under the blackberry bushes last year. And I got in there and I cut out all the blackberry bushes that were beating down those particular bushes. Those are thimbleberries. And I love thimbleberries. And there's a ton of them in there. But they were being overpowered by the blackberry bushes. So I'm hoping we're going to get some thimbleberries this year. I got a hammock in so that everybody can come down here and use the hammock if they want to. Evie is probably the biggest customer yet. And as you look down this way, you can see all these pretty, they're sweet woodruff, and they just have taken over. Back up this way a little bit, because I do have a very pretty purple iris. But it's still very, very, very cold. And I mean, we're starting in May now, coming up. And Saturday, when I went shopping with Shonder, we went to the Bremerton nursery. And by the way, these lovely ferns, they're natural. They just pop up everywhere. Got several different types of them. But I went to the Bremerton nursery and I got a Point Defiance rhododendron. Isn't that gorgeous? I'll have to get some stills of that later because that is just unbelievable. And we got some willows here that are natural. I also was able to find another another red currant bush. So I popped that in here. And this is the Pacific Northwest rhodie that that I put in a couple years ago. And that's very pretty. That has really tinier blossoms to it, tighter ones. And I put in a hydrangea back here. So we shall see what happens. And I've got a little dogwood tree that was a volunteer from out back. Don't know whether it's white or pink, but we'll see if that hangs in there. That's right there. It had more leaves and branches on it, but deer apparently like it too. And this is what they call a bush honeysuckle. It's a miniature bush honeysuckle. And up behind that, I have some Solomon seal. And I've got the carrot grass. And some more of the purple iris. So once again, it's coming along slowly but surely. And I was able to find, when I found my currant bush at the library sale, I was able to find a variegated Solomon seal. I see the deer have already been down here. There was a blue angel hosta in there, and the deer had eaten it down to nothing. And I said, okay, you're going in the backyard. So I popped it out the other day when I got the variegated Solomon seal, and I stuck the Solomon seal in its place. And I guess the deer don't like the Solomon seal because the log was moved, but they didn't touch the Solomon seal. So I think I did good. It's quite the feat to plant things that the deer won't eat. And I've got some Indian plums. I've got 3 of those. There's one all the way over there by the stump that I've got to clear out, so it has a little bit more room to prosper. But I've got 2 of them up here. And we've got plum trees and cherry trees, another Indian plum over there. Lots of sedum that I put in bird baths that don't function well. Some Princess Spirea right down there. And this is the only apple tree that the deer are leaving alone. And I think it's probably because I have the lighthouse there. Probably scares them. And I've got some beautiful Brunnera in the blue, along with my sweet woodruff. The yellow pot of gold. And some hosta coming up. I don't know why they leave that hosta alone. But the blue angel one, that was eaten down to nothing. And I've got another one coming up. We'll see if they leave that alone. But that's how it looks out here. I've got some lungwort there with the spotted leaves next to the Brunnera. And something knocked my log back in, so I've got to get my grabbers and get that out. That turns the water red. It's red alder. And besides it being murky from all the pollen, the red alder logs will turn the water red. So this is what it looks like right now. Farther down I do have rhubarb that I planted. I've got more fruit trees. Ground is very uneven, so it's hard walking and trying to look through the camera. And so far, they've pawed around at my rhubarb, but they haven't eaten it. It's coming up. I got a patch there and a patch there. That was all what Punky was digging up in the backyard. So I got in the backyard and dug it up and put it out here. And the deer seem to be leaving it alone. So this is another weeding section I've got to do. Weeds grow very well here. But a lot of the stuff is also natural. So I will probably wait and see if things flower. I will get the blackberry out of there, however. But some of the other stuff is natural, and I will leave it for the time being. Uh-oh. Another munched on hosta. But I'm not worried about that one. That one was transplant from the backyard, and I've got plenty more in the backyard to transplant once again. But the Blue Angel one was something I spent money on. But my sweet woodruff is about done with its flowering down here, I guess. It's a nice little area, but it's very cold today. And as you can see, the ferns are coming up here too. They just come up wherever they darn well please, and that's fine with me. I like ferns. I have to change my water in my bird bath about every other day. I feed the crows their peanut butter crackers, and they like to dip them in the water. So I think they were raised by raccoons. So that's it for down below at Llyn Lachan Pond in Port Orchard, Washington. And it's an ongoing project. And looking very nice, very spring-like. And I think I have one frog in the pond. I saw him the other day. And I've got some goldfish. But it's quite murky and I need to clean it out again once the pollen is done. Not going to waste my time doing it now. Too cold. So over and out. Bye now.